raided today by the FBI. Number two, the DOJ has released the audio tapes and transcripts from their interview with Ghislaine Maxwell. And number three, the president is planning to deploy National Guard troops and federal authorities to cities like Chicago and Baltimore. And all of these stories will show you what both sides are saying and give you the bottom line.
We're back with the Fox News Alert. We're just learning the FBI agents have raided the Maryland home of former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton. It happened at 7 a.m. this morning.
Shortly after the raid began, FBI Director Kash Patel posting on X, quote, "No one is above the law. FBI agents on a mission."
David Spunt joins us now with more on this breaking news. Hey, David.
Hey guys, not much we can say at this point, but information will continue to develop. As you mentioned, about 7 o'clock this morning, FBI agents raided Ambassador Bolton's home. Notable, we're being told by two government sources that they are looking for classified documents as part of a potential leak investigation. We're told that Ambassador Bolton is not in custody. He's not under arrest. But it is notable they are at his Maryland home right now. We don't know how many agents are there. We're waiting to get a picture of the scene coming in right now. But we're told Ambassador Bolton, who was just on TV on another network a couple days ago talking about the Russia-Putin-Trump summit, is now under FBI investigation.
All right, let me make sure you guys had the full picture. Let's go back to March of 2020. There was a book titled The Room Where It Happened. This was written by John Bolton. And the contention here in the first Trump administration, they tried to block the release of that book, which they were not able to do. Secondly, they tried to get a non-disclosure agreement signed by John Bolton. They were not able to do. Third, they launched a criminal investigation into John Bolton because they believe he used classified information. He was in possession of classified information and also violated national security protocols by releasing this book. Now, of course, President Trump left the White House, and here comes Biden. And during Biden's time, what did they do with the case? They paused it, and depending on what you read, they dropped the case due to political reasons. Now, fast forward to where we are today, the FBI not only relaunched this investigation, but they just raided his home.
All right, we're going to get back to that in just a second, but here's live pictures of what we believe is John Bolton returning home. We had a picture of this SUV leaving his office a short time ago, and now it looks like it's made its way with about 30-minute trip to his home. And there's the ambassador coming out, briefcase in hand, waving to the assembled media, and going inside the front door of the home. We will see. It doesn't look like it at this point if he decides to come out and talk. I mean, John Bolton does talk to the media an awful lot, but he has chosen to remain silent at this point. Nicole Parker is with us, and Nicole, it looks as though this investigation, at least the search of Bolton's home and his office, is wrapped up. What do you expect might be in the boxes that came out at the hands of FBI agents, and where does this go next?
Now, let's understand what both sides are saying. On the left, they're claiming this is retribution. The FBI is being weaponized, and President Trump is targeting his political opponents. And of course, from the FBI side, all they're saying is, hey, listen, we are actually conducting an investigation. John Bolton hasn't been prosecuted. He's not in court. He's not arrested. We are continuing the investigation that was shut down. That's their stance on everything. Now, anytime a politician or someone who served in the government, particularly in the White House and the executive branch, whenever that individual gets their home raided, that obviously raises eyebrows. And we saw that with President Trump, with Mar-a-Lago. Now, here is the vice president in his upcoming interview with Kristen Welker. A clip was released today. I mean, think about the timing. He was asked about John Bolton and whether or not he's actually being targeted. Here's what he had to say.
As you know, Ambassador Bolton is a frequent critic
Sure.
of President Trump's. He's also on Kash Patel's enemies list. The administration has already revoked his security clearance. Secret Service protection. Is Ambassador Bolton being targeted because he's a critic of President Trump?
No, not at all. And in fact, if we were trying to do that, we would just throw out prosecutions willy-nilly like the Biden administration DOJ did, prosecutions that later got thrown out in court. If we bring a case, and of course we haven't done that yet, the Department of Justice has not done that yet. We are investigating Ambassador Bolton, but if they ultimately bring a case, it will be because they determine that he has broken the law. We're going to be careful about that. We're going to be deliberate about that because we don't think that we should throw people, even if they disagree with us politically, maybe especially if they disagree with us politically. You shouldn't throw people willy-nilly in prison. You should let the law drive these determinations, and that's what we're doing.
You know, a lot of people have already looked at this and said this looks a lot like retribution. Is this retribution?
Well, who has said it looks a lot like retribution, Kristen? A lot of people who tried to throw Donald Trump in prison for completely fake charges that were later thrown out by multiple different courts. I suspect that if the media and the American people let this case actually unfold, if they let the investigation unfold as it's currently doing, they're going to find out that what we're doing is being very deliberate and being very driven by the national interest and by the law here, and that's as it should be.
Yep, I totally agree with the vice president there. And before we move any further, if you've been getting value from our channel in this video, please like. We have new designs every week, or you Bolton leaked classified information, had classified documents in his possession, and violated national security protocols. Not only should his home get raided, but he should be prosecuted. Point number two, this is an entirely different situation than President Trump. See, the only thing that if you're going to say President Trump was guilty at, which I still don't buy, by the way, is that he didn't return the classified documents when they wanted him to. But depending on your perception of the law, he wasn't wrong in doing so. He was actively negotiating when he was going to return those documents. Now here is George Conway making a fool of himself right outside John Bolton's house moments after the raid. Take a look.
What I've heard, John Bolton was always fastidious with classified versus unclassified material. It's all about the fact that he wrote a book that was uncomplimentary about the president's mental capacity and other abilities. If that's what this is about, well, I think we should all start buying John's book and reading the passages about Donald Trump.
Okay, so this is why I don't respect anything Democrats say, because George Conway is actually a bigger critic than John Bolton. So the argument you're going to see from the left is this is retribution, he's weaponizing the FBI, he's targeting his political opponents, and he's only doing this to John Bolton because John Bolton is his biggest critic. That's false, okay? I can name 5 people before John Bolton. What about the ladies on The View? What about George Conway himself? What about Rachel Maddow? Okay, we can go on and on and on. So I'm not going to buy that either. Now, here's the president and what he had to say in response to the raid.
When I hired him, he served a good purpose because, as you know, he was one of the people that forced Bush to do the ridiculous bombings in the Middle East. Bolton, he wants to always kill people, and he's very bad at what he does. But he worked out great for me because every time he doesn't talk, he's like a very quiet person, except on television. If he could say something bad about Trump, he'll always do that. But he really doesn't talk. He's quiet. And I'd walk into a room with him with a foreign country, and the foreign country would give me everything because they said, oh no, they're going to get blown up because John Bolton is there. He's not a smart guy, but he could be a very unpatriotic guy. I mean, we're going to find out. I know nothing about it. I just saw it this morning. They did a raid.
Do you expect the DOJ to brief you on this?
Yeah, they'll brief me. Probably today sometime.
And the foreign minister.
I tell Pam and I tell the group, I don't want to know, but just you have to do what you have to do. I don't want to know about it. It's not necessary. I could know about it. I could be the one starting it. I'm actually the chief law enforcement officer, but I feel that it's better this way.
Right there at the end, President Trump said that he is the chief law enforcement officer. And for some reason, this prompted CNN to get all up in arms and try to correct the president and to tell their viewers who truly is the chief law enforcement officer. I'll play the clip for you and then I'll tell you what I think about it. Take a look.
What Trump said that really jumped out at me is that he said that he hasn't been briefed by the Justice Department yet. He expects that later in the day. But he said, I could know about it. I could be the one starting it. I'm actually the chief law enforcement officer. But then he said he's telling the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, you have to do what you have to do. And right now he doesn't know anything. I looked. The Justice Department on its own website says the Attorney General is the chief law enforcement officer of the federal government, not the president.
Interesting. Okay, so as you can see, that's what CNN is obsessed with. That's what they're focusing on instead of focusing on the merits of the investigation and educating their viewers on why this investigation is happening and what actually led to the FBI raid. They're not really spending much time discussing that. They're spending more of their time trying to say that President Trump was only doing this for retribution reasons. Now, let's go to this next clip. This is the president later on in the day in the Oval Office continuing to talk about this. This time he brings up his experience and Melania Trump's. Take a look.
The news, which I do, I guess his house was raided today, but my house was raided also, called Mar-a-Lago. They went through everything they could, including my young son's room and my wife's area. They went through her drawers, as the expression goes. They went through everything you can imagine. And when she came back, she said, she's very neat, you know, she's meticulous. And she looked and she said, whoa, this wasn't the way that she had it. So, you know, so I know the feeling. It's not a good feeling.
Okay, so this actually takes me to where you guys will have to make up your own mind about what you believe to be true. Do you believe that the president has weaponized the FBI and is targeting his political opponents? Or do you believe they're actually launching legitimate investigations to figure out if crimes were committed? And if so, they will prosecute the people instead of just throwing cases out and not actually following through on anything. Let me know what you guys think about that. Now, just to show you once again an example of the hypocrisy that still exists today, when they raided Mar-a-Lago, the media had nothing to say. They definitely didn't react the same way. They definitely didn't sound like MSDNC. Take a look.
Clearly, this is retribution. Clearly, this is using the FBI in a way that not only tarnishes the FBI, but it tarnishes our country. I mean, this is what they do in countries where they don't have rule of law. This is what happens when despots take over, like Putin. And John Bolton has always been critical of how, I mean, he about lost it when Trump wanted to invite the Taliban to Camp David. It's chilling. Now, do I think they're ever going to have evidence to convict this man of anything in a court of law with a jury? No, they won't. But they can make him miserable.
Even if we follow the logic that what he's doing is retribution, he is targeting John Bolton for selfish reasons, he is weaponizing the FBI, let's follow their logic. Let's say that's all true. Well, it's on them because they made a miscalculation. They believe he wasn't going to become president again. So they said, screw it. Let's go up in his home. Let's raid his home. Let's make his life miserable. Let's make his wife, his son, his business associates. Let's drum up some sham charges in New York and try to prevent him from doing business. Let's get him on some RICO charges down in Fulton County. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just one. And we're talking about 3, 4 major high-profile cases they tried to bring against the president. Okay, so now we go to our second story. The president made a huge announcement in the Oval Office, and part of it was about what he plans to do outside of D.C. in this strategy to crack down on crime. Take a listen.
To do, we have to. And after we do this, we'll go to another location and we'll make it safe also. We're going to make our country very safe. We're going to make our cities very, very safe. Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. And we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this. And it won't even be tough. And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one. But they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago. Please. I did great with the black vote, as you know, and they want something to happen. So I think Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help with New York, and we're going to help with. And I think a lot of these people that you see on television, they're including the people in this audience. They'll say bad things about me, and then they'll say, "Thank God he's here," because half of them got mugged.
Now, see, this is why President Trump is an anomaly in politics, okay? He's got great political instincts. He knows by making that announcement, Democrats are going to go into reaction mode, which means they're going to be overly emotional. They won't be able to craft a solid message. And they definitely won't have any alternative solutions to offer up. And as a result, they will continue to self-destruct. And while they're doing that, he's actually getting results for the American people. And if he can go into Chicago and do the same thing, I do believe that the families, the parents, the business leaders in Chicago would love clean streets and low crime.
What is more important than lowering the murder rate? I'm really struggling with this. Like, what is more important than protecting our babies from stray bullets? What is more important than protecting grannies from being robbed? He has gotten the murder rate down in one. And I gotta tell you, I just have this feeling that this is not gonna make a difference with the people who live there, despite the.
It's the science. We've gone from treating ED with fertility totems.
People who live there, despite the fact that they can walk the streets for the first.
After we do this, we'll go to another location and we'll make it safe also. We're going to make our country very safe. We're going to make our cities very, very safe. Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. And we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this. And it won't even be tough. And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one, but they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago. Please. I did great with the black vote, as you know, and they want something to happen. So I think Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help with New York, and we're going to help with, and I think a lot of these people that you see on television, they're including the people in this audience. They'll say bad things about me, and then they'll say, thank God he's here, because half of them got mugged.
Now, see, this is why President Trump is an anomaly in politics, okay? He's got great political instincts. He knows by making that announcement, Democrats are going to go into reaction mode, which means they're going to be overly emotional. They won't be able to craft a solid message. And they definitely won't have any alternative solutions to offer up. And as a result, they will continue to self-destruct. And while they're doing that, he's actually getting results for the American people. And if he can go into Chicago and do the same thing, I do believe that the families, the parents, the business leaders in Chicago would love clean streets and low crime.
What is more important than lowering the murder rate? I'm really struggling with this. Like, what is more important than protecting our babies from stray bullets? What is more important than protecting grannies from being robbed? He has gotten the murder rate down in 1 week to 0. And I gotta tell you, I just have this feeling that this is not gonna make a difference with the people who live there, despite the fact that they can walk the streets for the first time in who knows how long and feel safe. And I just feel despondent about that there's this derangement against Trump, that even when he goes and tries to help people who he knows are not his voters because he is the president of everybody, he will not get any credit for it. So that's kind of where I'm at with this right now.
Now, if you're results driven like me, let's put the rhetoric aside and just look at the numbers. For the first time in a long time, Washington, D.C. has gone 7 days without a homicide. Carjackings have decreased by 83%, robberies decreased by 46%, car thefts by 21%, and overall violent crime is down 22%. We've seen those numbers before, but the 7 days without a homicide, I mean, doesn't that tell the full story there?
Hi, everyone. It is Judge Janine. It is Thursday morning, August the 21st, and we are here in D.C., where the president's surge to make D.C. safe and beautiful again is working. Last night, we had 53 arrests. 10 guns were taken off the street, making it a total of 630 arrests and 86 guns taken off the street. So what does that mean? That means those guns cannot be used to shoot or kill anyone. So as the president continues to make D.C. safe, we will continue to prosecute the cases, support the blue, and get those guns out of the hands of criminals.
Now, as you know, he's thinking about sending people to cities like Chicago and even Baltimore. And I want to read this from some of the people who live in Baltimore. It says that residents of Baltimore have expressed mixed feelings about the potential deployment. It's going to start a war, one resident said, while another said, we're not looking for more oppression, we're looking for solutions. That's not a solution. Now let's stop right here, because that's exactly what the argument is against what President Trump is doing. This isn't going to work. This is not a solution. Okay, so for the people who are saying that out loud, what is your solution? What have you done to bring down crime numbers like you've seen in D.C.? D.C. has not had a homicide in 7 days. That's never happened before. So what have you done to make that happen in your own city? That's the fascinating thing. If this was a Democrat president and they were doing this, I'd have no issue, because that means they're taking action to solve a problem. Even if I disagree with the tactics, are we doing something? That's what was missing in the last administration.
Just to echo something the president said about crime in Washington, D.C., this is the national capital of the greatest nation in the world, and we had murder rates just a few weeks ago that rivaled some of the worst third world cities anywhere, even in very, very poor regions of the world. Why did we accept that? Why did we allow it to happen? We allowed it to happen because we had broken leadership in Washington, D.C., and unfortunately sitting behind the Resolute desk. What we have shown in just under 2 weeks of taking law enforcement seriously is that the American people can have their streets back if their leadership is willing to put in the time and the resources. Mr. President, you've shown in Washington, D.C. that we can have safe streets again. We've just got to have the political willpower to focus on the bad guys and to give the American people back their communities. We are focused on doing that thanks to the president's leadership.
Yeah, see, it just makes too much sense for Democrats. That's why people disagree with what is happening. I mean, listen, I want streets to be safe for everybody. It's the way it should be. And I don't see what's wrong with using the National Guard. It's not like the National Guard's walking around with their M4 pointing it at people looking to shoot somebody. That's not what's happening. But if you don't do your research, if you're not actually looking and really seeing what both sides are saying, you're not going to see it that way, because you're eating up the propaganda from mainstream media. Now, here's the president issuing a warning to the mayor of D.C. If she doesn't get her act together, she's got to go. Take a listen.
I just left the Kennedy Center. We're spending a lot of money wisely on making it really beautiful. It's going to be beautiful again. It's like Washington, D.C. We had, by the way, in Washington, D.C., we have the lowest crime numbers they've had in years. Zero, it sounds like it's a horrible thing to say, but I might as well say it. Zero murders in the last week since we've done this. That's the first time in memory that that's happened, if you can believe it, how pathetic that is to have to even say it. And I'm tired of listening to these people say how safe it was before we got here. It was unsafe, it was horrible, and Mayor Bowser better get her act straight or she won't be mayor very long, because we'll take it over with the federal government, run it like it's supposed to be run. The numbers were horrible. It was a crime-infested rat hole, and they do have a lot of rats. We're getting rid of them too. And we've made a lot of progress, and it was extremely unsafe, and now it's extremely safe. We had virtually no crime. The number was down 87%, and I'm trying to figure out where was the 13%, because I don't think it existed. The National Guard has been unbelievable, and they're working with the police, and they have some very good people in there. They have some people that shouldn't be police, actually, but they have some great people there.
Okay, so this takes us to our next story, and it's about Ghislaine Maxwell. The interview that was done with Todd Blanche has been released. The audio tapes, not the video footage, but the audio tapes and the transcript. DOJ has released them publicly, so you can read it for yourself or listen to it for yourself on your own time. But we're going to play a clip here and react to it, and also see what both sides are saying. Let's start here.
Do you know, do you have a list of names in your head, or names that come to mind of people that you know did get massages when they were with Mr. Epstein?
No, there's no list. There's no list of people getting massages. I don't have, I can barely recall all the people. I can barely recall, I struggle to recall actual people that I met. And I may have met a long time, but I had even forgotten that about Mr. Kennedy, or I probably brought it up yesterday. It just came to my mind now. So I don't have, and there's no list. There was never a list. There was no, or certainly none that I ever saw, none I ever heard of, none that I ever witnessed, none that there's no list. There's never been a list.
And you never heard Mr. Epstein talk about such a list?
Never.
And you never heard Mr. Epstein suggest that he had some sort of control over somebody because of what he knew about what they had done, or had photos of them?
I never heard him. No, I never heard him ask questions about that. I never heard him. So I've been present many times with masseuses. I never, who presumably could or maybe did massage somebody. I'm not saying whether they did. I'm not just in the context. I never heard him ask any question of any masseuse who may have given a massage to a friend that was on the island or in Palm Beach or anywhere else, for that, any details about that massage.
Okay, as I stated, you can download the transcripts for yourself. In a section of the transcripts, Todd Blanche asked Ghislaine Maxwell point blank, did you ever observe President Trump receiving a massage? She says never. He also went on to say, did you ever observe, meaning did you ever see that there were photographs, public photographs of Mr. Epstein and President Trump together? She says yes. Then she proceeds to say this, I actually never saw the president in any type of massage setting. I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. The president was never inappropriate with anybody. In the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects. This continues to be the same answer that even victims of Jeffrey Epstein said about the president.
Well, I think she's largely affirming what is already known and not really advancing the knowledge of the case at all, which is unsurprising if you look at the motivations that she would have at this point. But first, in terms of what is known and solidifying what is known, President Trump did absolutely nothing wrong. There's no evidence. There's no indication. There's nothing whatsoever to suggest that President Trump ever did anything wrong with regard to all of this. So many of us have known that from just the case files and everything going back for quite some time. But she vociferously and repeatedly goes to that. OK, so people can put that aside now. I mean, I don't know how much more is going to be necessary for that to become. Look, there are people who will hate Trump and try to lie about him no matter what. But I think that's affirmed now in a way that we can move beyond it. She also says, essentially, nobody else did anything wrong. She didn't see any, meaning other than Jeffrey Epstein, she didn't see any criminal conduct that Jeffrey Epstein even did herself. There is no blacklist. Now, that's always been a shorthand, and people talk about a blacklist. What they really mean is people who were blackmailed. But, Will, as I was going through the transcripts, she says there was no blackmail. She also says, at all, of anyone, she also says that the money was made through high-stakes financial deals. What? There's some things here that just still don't add up, and I think we need further clarification on some of the points that she made, and I think that maybe that will be forthcoming from the DOJ.
Now, Mr. Sexton there actually pointed out something that I think is the takeaway from this entire interview that's been released by the DOJ. We don't know anything new. It's all the same stuff. She didn't say anything that was like, oh, I never heard of that. Oh, I never knew of that. And again, it's unfortunate because it just ends up being a distraction at the end of the day. And we're results-driven people, right? And the only misstep here from the administration, and it's legitimate, Pam Bondi's messaging, Kash Patel's messaging, Dan Bongino's messaging didn't line up with the messaging from President Trump. And that ended up being what drew more attention to the case besides the case itself. And that's just the reality to it. Now, you can't believe anything she says because clearly her vested interest in all of this is to get a pardon and get out of prison. So what can you truly believe from her? That's the hard part here. So she's going to have to say something that we never heard of. She's going to have to provide something we've never seen. And obviously she'd be giving that to the DOJ. Now, here's what the president had to say in response to the DOJ releasing this stuff and also what people had to say about it. Take a look.
The Justice Department is also sending some of the Epstein files over to the House Oversight Committee today. Are you in support of them releasing all of them?
I'm in support of keeping it open.
If they want
Innocent
to release...
people shouldn't be hurt, but I'm in support of keeping it totally open. I couldn't care less. You got a lot of people that could be mentioned in those files that don't deserve to be people, because he knew everybody in Palm Beach. I don't know anything about that, but I have said to Pam and everybody else, give them everything you can give them, because it's a Democrat hoax. It's just a hoax. The whole Epstein thing is a Democrat hoax. So we had the greatest 6 months, 7 months of the history of the presidency, and the Democrats don't know what to do, so they keep bringing up that stuff. But it affected them. Bill Clinton was on his plane and went to the island supposedly 28 times. I don't want to bring that up, frankly. You have Larry, whatever his name is, Summers, the head of Harvard, who was Jeffrey Epstein's best friend. Nobody ever talks about that. I mean, but I don't want to hurt Larry Summers, but he was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. No, this is a Democratic hoax to try and get the significance of what we've done over the past 7 months. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They say it's #1 in history. What we've done, including stopping 7 wars.
Okay, so we know where the president stands, but I want to know where you stand on these stories that we discussed in this video. Starting with the DOJ releasing these transcripts and the audio tapes of their interview with Ghislaine Maxwell. What do you make of it? What is your thoughts about what she had to say? What do you think about her continuing to affirm that the president had nothing to do from a negative point of view or anything that was inappropriate?
Officer on patrol noticed a gold-colored Jeep with a non-working headlight. The officer saw that the owner of the vehicle was wanted on a warrant. The officer spoke to the woman who was driving. She showed the officer a driver's license, but it turned out it wasn't hers. And then she made the worst decision.
Hello, how you doing?
Good.
Good, you got a driver's license on you?
Yeah.
The reason I'm stopping, you have a headlight out. I don't know if you knew
I
that.
thought them two didn't matter.
What do you mean?
So I got two lights.
Yeah.
And I have the other two. Them have to be on.
So you have to have 2 headlights, okay?
Okay.
Fog lights are considered auxiliary lights, okay? All right, where you head to tonight?
Work.
Where you work at?
Grand Falls.
Okay. All right, give your registration proof of insurance for the vehicle.
No, that's actually my sister's car.
Okay.
So, I'm not for sure.
Okay. Any weapons inside the vehicle?
No, sir.
No, all right. You said that this is your sister's car?
Yeah.
What's your sister's name? Okay. What's your...
Which one you have on?
Well, where are you staying at?
I'm staying with my sister right now.
Oh, okay.
I don't really have one right now.
So you like in between houses or something?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your date of birth?
My date of birth, sir? Everything is on there, sir.
Yeah, but you don't know your date of birth?
Yeah, I know my date of birth.
Well, then what is it? I'm just asking, I'm asking what your date of birth is. That's all. January 20th, what? January 20th, what year were you born? Okay, how old are you? 50. You're 50? Okay. How you doing tonight, ma'am?
It's really right now. I'm about to be late to work.
Where are you working?
Garden Courts.
Yeah, nurse there or something?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll try to get you on your way here in a minute. He's checking out your info, and if everything checks okay, we'll get you on your way.
Okay. I just need to run up and off front.
That's fine. I don't think that's her. I think she's the owner. Is this Bender or something? Yeah, it's on for shop birthday. This motorcycle who that is, right? Go ahead and get back in your car. It's not safe out here. Please, I'll talk to you on the other side.
Sorry.
You're gonna get run over. Close the door. Yeah, I don't want you to get run over because your car's like right on the edge of the road. I understand, but we have to. No, we have to find out. We have to make sure everything checks okay. That's your driver's license you gave him, right?
Yeah.
You're sure?
I'm positive.
Okay, because if you're not honest with us about who you are, you pick up extra charges that way. So if you haven't been honest, let us know now.
I am on my way to work, y'all.
I get it.
Damn. I'm going to get pissed off in here.
Just relax. It's a traffic stop. That's all it is.
Why I have to go to work?
I understand that, but he also has a job to do. Okay? He has a job to do.
You understand? Just go ahead and hop on out with me. Huh? Go ahead, hop on out with me.
God,
Hey, we're gonna get over here. What are you getting so excited for?
because I have to go to work, so I'm gonna lose my job.
Okay. Do you have anything on you? Like,
No.
any knives or anything? Okay. Shayna, so where do you work at?
I'm not Shayna.
You're not Shayna?
No.
You look like Shayna. So I'll be at 1,000% honest, okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead and talk to me. You don't have to talk to whoever you're talking to.
Okay.
Just stand right here.
Okay.
So if you are Shayna, I will charge you with falsifying who you are, okay? So I don't know why you're trying to tell me who else you are, because you're not. Because I pulled up the BMV photo. Well, you don't have the beauty marks on you. You didn't have a nose piercing. So we can play this game. I'll take you to our jail as Jane Doe, and you will sit there until we figure out who you are.
Be honest. What do you guys? That is who I am. What do y'all mean?
Okay, is there any other identifying things in the car that I can look at to see who you are? No, just stay right here.
I don't think so.
Stay right
I don't
here.
know.
So you don't have credit cards, bank cards in your purse or anything like that that would verify who you
I
are?
don't have a purse today.
Okay. Where do you work? Do you have your ID badge for work?
Not on me.
No.
I'm trying to call my job.
Okay. So where do you keep your thing?
If you go to Arden Course with me right now, they'll tell you who I am. Okay. Hello? I'm talking to the police right now. They're giving me a hard time. Like, I don't understand this because I have a headlight out.
Well, yeah, and you're giving me somebody who I don't believe who
That
you
is
are.
me. That is my little sister. This is my little sister card.
I think you might be little sister and the older
I'm
sister.
not little sister. What do you mean?
Okay. You didn't know your address. You don't know your social.
I did. I do know my social.
Okay, then why don't you want to give it to me?
Because why are y'all harassing? If I give you my social, I can go.
Ain't nobody harassing you.
I'm saying if I give you my social, I can go.
I mean, people tell me bad socials all the time.
Socials
help. If you give me social, it helps.
But I'm saying, why are you guys bothering me?
So what's your social then?
You don't look like the picture that's on your ID. What do you mean?
What's your social?
Like myself.
What's your social?
Sorry.
What's your social?
Why are you harassing me?
Nobody's harassing you.
What are y'all gonna do? Am I arrested?
We're getting there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So no, do a
I'm
favor.
just gonna sit in the car.
No, you're detained right now. You're gonna sit in the back of my vehicle.
Oh, okay.
We're not going down the highway 100 miles an hour after this. Forget that.
I'm not gonna go down the highway 100 miles an hour.
Where'd you say you work at? Go have a seat in there for me. So you telling me that's you on my screen right there?
Yes.
You lie. I'm like pretty much almost 100%. She's the owner.
way younger than
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly, yeah. I'm gonna take a picture of her.
I'm not arguing with them. I'm about to give it my information, Tay. I'm sorry.
Look at me real quick.
Why are you taking a picture of me?
Just look at me real quick.
You know what?
Sit back down in there.
No, I'm not.
Get back in the car.
What did I do, sir?
Sit down. We already explained this to you.
You're being custody if you don't sit back in the car. Yeah, okay, Tay. I'm about to give him my information.
No, I'm good on.
There wasn't a call with somebody named Darlene. I saw her phone screen that said Darlene.
I think that's what you gave me. You able to call Darlene for me again? You able to call Darlene for me again? You was just on the phone with him? Alright. H, all-wheel drive. Ready? Yep. Alright, go and face away from me. Nope.
Get off of me!
Put your hands on your back.
Okay.
Come back now.
All right.
What the hell is the matter with you? You're not going to work. You're going to jail. We tried to get you off to work, and you wouldn't play along.
Stop.
Oh my God!
That was so stupid. Stand up.
Now you're picking up a resistance charge on top of that. Hell yeah, you are.
Do you have anything on you?
Go to the ground with you. You're picking up a resistance charge.
100. You guys close.
Felony? You guys, please help me. I'm sorry.
You didn't help yourself.
We've been trying to help you.
All right, disregard. You have anything on you can't take into the jail.
No.
Where's your phone?
I have it.
Okay.
Oh, God. I want to go to jail. I've never been in jail. Please.
Don't lean on me.
We're just wrapping up. We can head up if you like.
Go ahead, have a seat on the phone.
Right now? You have any gun now?
They're just going to be a first search, but
Oh, my God.
we'll handle it in the jail.
Oh, God, y'all.
Hey, LT, let me double lock these real quick. Quit moving.
Still, so he can make these so they don't get any tighter.
Oh, my God.
Do you have any gum in your mouth?
3126.
Go ahead.
Any medical or intox on that female?
No, she's going to be going to our jail. Charges on her. Go ahead, have a seat in there for me.
I copy.
Sorry.
Seatbelt.
I cannot believe this.
Put your leg in there.
God, you're so mean.
Hey, I'm gonna just move this off to the side a little bit so I don't get. Yeah, I mean you could ask her, but
Well, I do inventory anyway, but
yeah,
it looks like it's something she's gonna need. I'll bring it with her, like a wallet or money or whatever.
Yeah.
New text message from Mini-Me.
Alright, so do you enter clothes back at the station or do you enter them here?
I usually just do it like back at the station. It's a lot easier.
I was gonna say,
we just do the placard like on the side of the street.
Yeah, that's fine. Check the last part of the game.
Yeah. 126 rated brick for a handicap placard.
Go ahead. Copy. Yeah, 126. That's showing expired as of 7/24. Comes back to H. Who's 20 Cleveland, showing valid on.
Okay, you wanna chat me the DL to that?
Okay, fine, I'll send it over.
New text message from Darlene.
Darlene.
She was later charged with obstructing official business, furnishing false information related to a traffic ticket, driving without a working headlight, and driving without a license.